About 2 years ago, I made a decision that honestly changed my life forever. I started Jiu-Jitsu. Now, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it pushed me further than I ever expected. This is my story. Before Jiu-Jitsu, I was in a different place, physically and mentally. I grew up playing soccer throughout my whole life, and basically after high school, the goal was to play college soccer, and that obviously did not turn out pretty well. So I ended up not playing college soccer. I had one half of a scholarship to go play in Oklahoma, and nothing ever came out of that. I never committed to anything, and I wasn't a standout high school player. I was just a decent player, but after high school, I went into college and I went into the gym, and after that, it wasn't something I was getting challenged, right? Until I found running. Running was something that challenged me, but not really to my full potential. I always felt like I had something, a greater purpose. And during my whole college, basically life, I just stuck with running. And it was like a way I could escape my daily life, right? Just like if you're a runner, you could escape whatever you do, especially if you have like a 9 to 5, you go run. But it was, for me, it was like my own escape. But after that, after running, I felt burnt out. And like I mentioned in that first video ever about wanting to compete, if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend watching it. I mentioned a little bit about the whole story of how I started, but not really the full thing. But basically, back in February 2024, my local Jiu-Jitsu gym was going to be opening up, Dragon King BJJ, that's what it's called. Again, growing up, watching UFC, watching all the Cain Velasquez fights, McGregor, the whole thing, I always liked the way when fighters would submit someone else. And I was like, wow, like they can submit them with an armbar, triangle, head and arm choke. There was so many ways you could submit someone, and I always found that very fascinating. Obviously, these fighters were a little bit different, especially McGregor. He was more of a boxer. He never really used anything like jiu-jitsu. But Cain Velasquez was a really good wrestler at the time, right? Or still is. But those are the fighters that got me into the whole sport of MMA or jiu-jitsu. Basically, my gym had announced like it was going to be opening up. So me and my brothers were like, okay, let's just give it a shot. Like before we got into the whole jiu-jitsu and actually going in, I kept seeing people talk about jiu-jitsu and how it changes you, and not just your body, but your mindset as well. And at first, it looked like it wasn't for me, because I was like, man, like I don't want to be around sweaty people, other men grabbing me. I feel like that's just fruity. But hey, you know, people have their own opinion, right? And it looked very uncomfortable. It looked so cool when someone would submit someone, but also looked very uncomfortable. But yeah, but basically, for me, it was something that kept pulling me in, having that itch. I'm like, you need to go challenge yourself, and that's something I've always strived to do is growing, but also challenging myself. And without challenging yourself, there's no growth. And so that's why I was like, okay, let's just go give it a shot. You know, what's the worst that can happen? But basically, yeah, I still had like an itch. It's something about it just kept pulling me in, and I was like, okay, I need to try it out, right? Because if I'm personally not gonna know if I'm gonna like it if I don't try it out. Just like anything, right? If you try sushi, or if you try some type of seafood, or because I'm not a huge fan of seafood, but basically you just have to give it a try. But basically, we tried it out, right? We went into the first class, and I didn't know nothing. I knew everyone there at least had an idea that what they were doing. I did not know anything about when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Whatever I saw on Instagram, that's all I saw. Whatever I saw on the UFC fights, that's all I knew about. And I was super nervous. But I mean, again, this goes back to having a great atmosphere, a great team, or a great gym, basically, where they can, you know, nurture you. They can basically take it from the hand and be like, hey, we're gonna help you. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be new at something. And luckily, I did have a great team. I did have a great teammates that they basically took me from the hand and were like, okay, all you gotta do is just breathe. Just start off with breathing, right? So I started off with breathing, and I was like, okay, whenever I would go into a roll, I would make sure I would just like take my deep breaths and not breathe so heavily, like panicking basically. And so that was like one of the one of the first things that I learned was just control your breathing. It's okay. You're gonna be in hard situations, but that's part of it. Same thing with life. You're gonna be in hard challenges, but you just gotta breathe sometimes. But even the warm-up, I was already tired, and that's when we got into rolling, and I got tapped so many times. Like, I lost count how many times I got tapped, and something about it, I was like, man, like, this is hard. Like, this is way harder than it seems. People make it look so easy, and it's because I didn't know anything. You know, I was a freshly new white belt, not even with a stripe, first day of class, and me and my brother got tapped so many times, and I was basically the fish in a big old ocean with so many sharks surrounding me, basically like the movie Nemo. Now, another thing was that I didn't feel awkward. I felt like, again, when it comes to like having a great atmosphere, I felt like I was at home almost. Like, obviously it was uncomfortable in the beginning because you're just not used to rolling around with sweaty men, but it was like almost like, okay, like, if these guys have been there for a couple years already and they've put in the time, maybe I can do the same, right? Maybe I can become what they are, you know, as far as a jiu-jitsu athlete, right? Or a jiu-jitsu competitor, or anyone that does jiu-jitsu, right? I could get to that level eventually. And then after that, like after the first session, again, tapped so many times, and it was tough. It was very humbling, again, because knowing when you're a man, you want to go in there thinking I can beat up anyone, right? Anyone that comes in my way, I can try to beat up, right? And not in jiu-jitsu. It would humble you. It's gonna humble you very, very quickly. Obviously, we're not throwing punches, so it's a whole different game. It's a whole different ball game. This is more of just like taking someone down, submitting them with techniques and all this stuff. But again, it messes with your ego and it humbles you, because if you're gonna go in there thinking you're gonna beat up anyone, that's basically not the case. But yeah, it humbled me very, very quickly. I left the day exhausted, tired, defeated, messed with my whole ego. But I knew, I was like, okay, this is fun. I want to learn. I was hooked, and I want to keep learning these techniques. I want to keep, improving, and that's why I came back. And then that's why I was like, okay, if I really want to stick to it, I got to be committed to it, and I need to come back to this class, or I need to come back to the gym. Luckily, my dream was doing a 1-week free trial, so I'm like, okay, let's try it out for a whole week, and that's what we did. But yeah, basically the first couple of weeks, months, it was tough. I lost basically all the rounds. I was getting lucky with a few positions here and there, but it was very tough. It was very humbling. It messed with my ego, and I was basically the nail to the hammer. I was getting beat up every single day, and it was a very tough experience for the first couple of weeks and months. But that's just a part of it, Whenever you're a small little fish in a big old ocean, that's basically what's gonna happen. And but something about it just kept showing up, And obviously, when it comes to the ego part, I had to get comfortable with being the worst one in the room. That's part of it, Whenever you start something new, you're not always gonna be the best. Yeah, you get those people that are naturally, athletes, and they can excel fast. But with me, it took me some time. But somewhere in that struggle, all of that kind of changed, I started surviving some rounds. I started getting small wins here and there. And it was a very confident booster, because I knew that I was like, okay, I'm not only coming in class, but I'm also learning something, and I'm getting better at it. And that was very, very rewarding, because being the nail to the hammer was not fun, and it was very, very tough. And outside the gym, I started to become more disciplined, and that's something that jiu-jitsu really teaches you, is discipline. It's being consistent, staying to it, and that's when I realized that it was like, okay, jiu-jitsu is more than just a sport. It's more than just a workout. It's basically a lifestyle, and whatever you do outside the mats can impact your whole jiu-jitsu game. And when it comes to your food, the way you train, when you go to the gym, the way you basically live your daily lifestyle. And I knew that it was whatever I was doing outside the gym, outside jiu-jitsu, it was gonna have an impact within the inside, especially what I ate. And so I was like, okay, this is something that if I really want to get better, I have to really focus on what I'm doing wrong, not just inside the gym, but outside the gym. It all goes back to, having a great lifestyle. And after 2 years of jiu-jitsu, I've learned so much. But something about me was that I still wanted to get some sort of challenge. Because I was getting it through my rounds, through my rolls, but I wanted to really test myself and my abilities of what I know about the sport, right? And again, that's something my coach always implements is if you want to get to your next blue belt, or like for me, it would be a blue belt, but if you want to get to your next belt color, you would have to, compete at least once. And so I was like, okay, it's been 2 years, I got to do it. And that's why I signed up for the competition for February 28th. But basically, I really wanted to test those waters because I'm like, okay, what are my abilities? I've been doing this for about close to 2 years. I did take a break in between last summer, and I was just transitioning to a whole new job, career, and it was very hard to really stay at it. But once I got back on the mats, it was really, really like a refresher. I'm like, okay, I missed this place. It was something that I just could not leave, right? But ever since that, I've just been going at it, and that's why I was like, okay, let me test myself. I think it's time to really test the waters when it comes to my abilities and what I know in the sport. Another thing was about proving myself. I'm not really trying to prove anything to anyone. I'm trying to prove only to myself, because I know what I can do and I know my abilities. Again, I'm not a freaking master world champion, but I have an idea, right? And if I can execute those techniques that I know, I think I'll be fine. But basically, Jiu-Jitsu has taught me that growth happens in uncomfortable places. It's taught me that consistency beats motivation. It's basically taught me humility. And again, I'm still a beginner. I'm still learning. I'm still getting tapped. I'm not a freaking world master champion, ADCC champion, a Craig Jones Invitational world champion. Now, I'm not any of that, but it's taught me that it's showing up matters, and especially when you don't feel like it, it changes you. But again, starting jiu-jitsu, has changed the direction that I'm heading, and I'm just getting started. And so again, if you're someone that's looking into getting jiu-jitsu or any combat sports, just do it. Get out of your comfort zone. And it's gonna be scary at first, trust me. I was scared. Everybody gets scared. But if you just go in there, you try it out, and you like it, then that's a win, right? So that's something that I've learned, and that's something I've been able to take into, is that trying new things and knowing that growth comes when you challenge yourself, when you get in those uncomfortable places. And so far, my jiu-jitsu journey is just, again, it's getting started, but I'm super excited for what the future holds and what this whole sport is going to become, because it's just growing massively. But yeah, guys, I hope you are able to get a little bit of my story. I didn't want to make it too long. I tried to summarize it for y'all, or else I would have been talking forever, and this would have been a 1 hour long video. But basically, if you're thinking about doing something that scares you, just do it, guys. Just go in there and do it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment down below again what other videos y'all would like to see, because I love sharing my story. I love sharing my techniques, or I love sharing my roles. But if there's anything else that I would like to share, just let me know. But basically, to sign it off, guys, go challenge yourself. See you in the next one. Actually, now, before I do really sign off, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Finn, my thumbnail editor. If you're liking the thumbnails, guys, he's the man behind the thumbnails. So Finn, thank you, bro. I appreciate all your work that you do for me. I'll probably leave his information down below where you can give him a follow, or follow his website. But he's a cool guy, and so go give him a follow, guys. But basically, guys, I'll see you next Sunday, and go challenge yourself.